His dad, Stefan, used to send him off to junior events with handwritten notes inside his yardage book like, final stretch, stay focused, and that was a theme of last year. This year, different story, tied 30th at the Century on Kapalua on Maui, but then missed 2 months due to a rib injury, returning at the API last week. Played well with 69 on Sunday. And he's now, by the way, at 58 consecutive cuts made on tour. That is by far the best current streak and 6th best all time. With more, let's go back down to Todd.
Yeah, Xander Schauffele, as you mentioned, Rich, was very excited about 2025, coming off that incredible 2024 where he won 2 major championships. But in December of last year, he felt a pain in his right rib area. He doesn't really know what caused that pain, if there was one incident, but it continued to bother him. Still, though, he decided to fight through it and play the Century, and then that pain became even more intense. So after that, he decided to shut it down, and he had some scans and an MRI, and it was discovered that what had happened to him was that he has strained the intercostal muscles in his right ribs. Now, those are the muscles between your ribs. Also, the MRI revealed that he tore cartilage in his ribs that connects to the sternum. It's very painful, and that pain, it's really unpredictable when it comes. You could be reaching for a dish and all of a sudden, ow, it hurts. So how do you recover from this? Well, basically, it's therapy and rest, and that's what he did. But he felt good enough to play last week in Orlando at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, and he was very hesitant about taking on Bay Hill Club and Lodge, given the fact that the rough was more than 4 inches high. But still, he played well enough to play all 4 rounds, finished tied for 40th, and he made the cut, as Rich pointed out. He now has the longest current active streak at 58 consecutive cuts made on the PGA Tour, and that is 6th all-time. Look at these incredible names he is right behind. But last week was a great test for him. He feels like he has more trust now in his body coming to the players, and he's hoping for a little more trust in his swing.
It depends on how I look at it. Happy to get through the week, happy to pick up the pace in golf and to feel pretty good. So no setbacks. It was a little scary at first with the rough, but yeah, I'd say, if I look at it through that lens, a win. And then from a performance standpoint, obviously not a win. There's some spots that, some big holes in the game, pretty exposed there on Thursday in the wind. And yeah, just a lot of homework to do.
Do you chalk those holes that you talk about up to just competitive rust?
I think it's easy to point there, but you kind of have to nip it in the butt pretty quickly. It's I don't want to be 3-4 events in and I'm just rusty. So I'm trying to address it quickly, understand why I was hitting poor shots, and get myself going.
Let's say you're able to execute better and your prep here for this championship. Strategically, when you come to this golf course with all the danger looming, what kind of attitude do you need to bring to the players?
It can be daunting. You definitely want to be in control of your swing, at least understand why you're missing shots, because if you get kind of sideways out there, you don't get much of a break. You hit one ball in the water, and then on the very next hole or the very next shot, you're facing the same challenge. So you need to kind of dial it in quickly. And so just, I haven't had a whole lot of looks at it, so maybe going a little blue-eyed and try and make as free of swings as possible with all the danger lurking.
Now, entering the Arnold Palmer Invitational last week, Xander admits he didn't do a lot of prep for that tournament. Actually, his body wouldn't allow it. But going through 72 holes and the practice rounds at Bay Hill Club and Lodge, he has a better understanding of not only where his body is, but where his swing is. And he's not searching for trying to fix something in his swing. He knows what he needs to do now. It's just a matter of execution. And if he gets that figured out, given the fact that he has 2 runner-up finishes here at the Players, he feels very comfortable here, and he may be someone to watch. Rich?
All right, good report, Todd. Thank you. I'm betting on Xander Schauffele to put it all back together. He just made of the right stuff. Paul, you had that same injury. What do you remember about it?
Yeah, I did. I had it pretty much in the middle of my career, Rich, and it was a nasty injury. I remember it took me about 6 weeks of rest more than anything else, and then I went back to play again, and it was still there. It was niggling, and it's in the side here. It's in your rib. So when you cough, when you sleep, when you move, it would catch you, and actually went round into your back as well too. It wraps around into your back. And then I remember we had a physiotherapist on tour called Dale Richardson from Australia, and he came to me and he says, "Paul, I can fix that for you." And I said, "Really?" Because I've been waiting 6 weeks. And anyway, long story short, he did the opposite. He got his fingers in there, incredibly painful, on a number of physio trips that I went to him. Got his finger in and massaged it and muscled it and worked inside it. And, you know, a week later I was able to play again. But it took a while to clear up like that. But it was interesting that Dale had a very unique and different way of treating it than what my doctors had told to do. And that was one of basically aggravating it and massaging it.
Brenda, where are you on Xander as he gets set for one of the biggest championships of the year?
Look, he finished second here last year, finished second here previously in 2018. Obviously he's got what it takes to play well around here. He was, besides the injury, I would say pretty rusty last week, so hopefully some of that rust is chipped away. The one thing I'll say about him, and this is true of almost everybody here, they have difficulty just navigating their way around this golf course in certain spots. He does not play the par fives particularly well around here. There's 2 holes on this golf course that really give him problems. Number 1 gives him problems, and number 11 gives him problems. He's had a double bogey every single year he's played here, but in particular at 11. He doubled it when he finished second in 2018. He doubled it last year. So 11 really does give him some problems.
We will keep an eye on that. Scotty Scheffler's out with Xander Schauffele and Rory McIlroy, 1:29 Eastern Time. Golf Channel has it beginning at 1. Scotty, soft spot for the fans, the little ones. Hard-edged it in his press conference, though. Not resting on any laurels, though he certainly could. Kira K. Dixon with more as we continue live from the Players.